contacts of the new UK variant cases in Mountain Province have tested positive for COVID-19. But the DOH says it's too early to say that there's already community transmission of the more infectious variant. The Philippine Red Cross rolls out its saliva COVID-19 testing program after getting the green light from the DOH. And the AFP apologizes over a social media post falsely naming several UP alumni as NPA rebels. A maritime law expert has expressed concern over a new Chinese law authorizing the Chinese Coast Guard to fire on foreign vessels. And from lower bracket to World Championship, Bren Esports defeats Myanmar to win the Mobile Legends World Championship. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. The Health Department has approved the use of saliva for COVID-19 testing after a Red Cross pilot run. Let's get the latest on this from Jenny Dongon, who joins us live from Mandaluyong City. Hi, Jenny. Can we book the saliva test now? And is it an acceptable option or substitute for a PCR swab test?
Sean, patients who want to get tested for COVID-19 using saliva may now book their schedule via Red Cross website. On Saturday, the Health Department approved the saliva test, but only at the PRC laboratories, at least for now. The COVID-19 saliva test is considered as the cheaper, faster, and less painful alternative to the RT-PCR swab test. Several countries, including Japan and the United States, have been using this method to detect the virus. PRC Chairman Senator Richard Gordon explains that the same technology will be used as that of the swab test. A saliva test costs 2,000 pesos, much cheaper compared to the RT-PCR, which is priced up to 5,000 at the government labs. Gordon says the price may decrease further depending on the number of people who want to avail of the test. He also noted that the saliva test has a 98.11% concordance rate or capability to detect COVID-19. The PRC has listed down a few reminders for those who want to get tested for the virus through this procedure. One should avoid eating, drinking, smoking, gargling, and brushing teeth 30 minutes before the collection of saliva. A person's saliva will be deposited using a straw in a 1 milliliter barcoded specimen container. Results will be then released in 3 to 4 hours, which is faster than the 24 to 48 hours awaiting period for swab test. According to the PRC, all of the 13 molecular labs of the organization may conduct saliva testing by February. Sean, the PRC is calling on the PhilHealth to include this testing to their COVID-19 health package. And also the organization is now in close coordination with the IATF to discuss the possibility of launching this at the airport for the OFWs. Sean.
Thank you for sharing that good news. Jenny Dongon joining us live from Mandaluyong City. And 34 close contacts of the UK variant cases in Bontoc Mountain Province have tested positive for COVID-19. But none of them has so far tested positive for the more contagious variant. Greg Gregorio with the details.
Contact tracing and verification process for the 16 new UK variant cases in the country are now underway. 2 of the cases came from Lebanon but have been discharged from isolation last January 9 and 13. As for the 12 UK variant cases in Bontoc Mountain Province, the Health Department says 114 close contacts have been identified. 116 of them have underwent RT-PCR testing and 34 turned out positive for COVID-19. Of the 34, 6 tested negative for the more contagious variant, while 28 have yet to undergo gene sequencing. Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeire says they have found 3 clusters of cases in Bontoc, but it is still unclear if it's because of the new variant. Vergeire also notes that all infected patients have been exposed to an individual who came from United Kingdom.
December 13, Siya po ay nag-quarantine, tinest, nag-negative nung 14, nakauwi po siya dun sa Bontoc province ng December 14. And pagkatapos noon, he stayed there with his relatives. They are in a household, kasama niya yung asawa niya. And on December 25, nagkaroon sila ng pagdiriwang because it's Christmas. December 26, they had a ritual because they have these beliefs dun sa kanilang lugar. And then December 29, nag-umpisa na siya magkaroon ng kanyang simptomas.
The municipality of Bontoc has extended existing lockdowns in some barangays in their area. Another UK variant case, meanwhile, has been recorded in La Trinidad, Benguet. 4 of the patient's 97 identified close contacts have tested positive for COVID-19. There's no information yet if these 4 also have the UK variant. The DOH is also doing further investigation into the UK variant case in Calamba, Laguna, which tested positive for COVID-19 last December. The patient then tested positive for the UK variant on January 22. Despite these, the DOH says it is still premature to say that there is already a community transmission of the UK variant in the Philippines. In an interview with Radyo 5, contact tracing SAR in Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong said precautionary measures are in place, such as border controls, considering their close location to the mountain province.
In fact, ang assumption po namin is nandito na po yung UK variant. Kaya last week pa ho kami naghihigpit ng pagsusuot ng mask, pati ho pagsusuot ho ng face shield. In fact, everyday nakakahuli kami ng mga 179.
The DOH believes there is no reason to impose stricter quarantine protocols for returning Filipinos.
Kailangan natin gawin ngayon is strengthen natin yung current protocols natin. Kailangan yung quarantine and isolation protocols ng LGUs should be further strengthened.
Health officials have also clarified reports that the UK variant is deadlier than the original strain of SARS-CoV-2, saying there is no such conclusion yet. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
The infectious diseases head of San Lazaro Hospital stresses the importance of surveillance amid the threat of the UK variant. In an interview with One News, Dr. Ronjean Solantes said that health officials should work with various laboratories regarding genome sequencing. He added that there should be stricter border controls since the new variant is reported to be more contagious. And here are other stories we're keeping our eyes on. The Philippines' COVID-19 caseload is now approaching the 515,000 mark. This after the health department reported over 1,500 new infections today, bringing the active case count to nearly 30,000. 50 people died of COVID-19 in the past 24 hours, pushing the death toll to more than 10,200. Meanwhile, some 475,000 have gotten better from the disease, with 13 new recoveries reported today. And 2 more accomplices of the 12 gunmen who were killed in a recent armed clash in Sultan Kudarat are still on the loose. The Philippine Star reports that local officials have identified the 2 as Hajer Mama and Jason Giabel. The gunmen managed to escape as their companions fell in a 5-hour-long shootout with police last Saturday. The firefight broke out as an arrest warrant was being served for ex-village chairman Datu Aziz Talusan. Authorities are still hunting down the escaped gunmen. And a maritime expert has expressed concern over a newly passed law in China allowing its Coast Guard to fire on foreign vessels. Director of the UP Institute for Maritime Affairs and Law of the Sea, Dr. J. Batumbakal, says that China can use this law even in maritime territories that are not legitimately theirs. Batumbakal added that once the Chinese Coast Guard opens fire at foreign vessels in contested areas, this can be constituted as an act of war. We'll have more stories after this short break. Stay with us. You are still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The AFP has apologized over an inaccurate list of alleged NPA rebels that made rounds online. Some universities decried the red tagging of their institutions by the NTF-ELCAC. Camille Samonte with the report.
The AFP has apologized to University of the Philippines alumni who were included in a list of alleged People's Army recruits. In a now-deleted Facebook post on January 22, the AFP Information Exchange named 27 supposed rebels who were allegedly killed or captured. In a statement Sunday, the AFP said it will conduct an internal investigation as to how the list got published. Those responsible for it will also be held accountable. Despite this, Alex Padilla, a lawyer and former government peace panel chair who was included in the list, says the damage has been done. He also says each one on the list deserves an apology letter from the military.
While I appreciate the statement coming from the AFP Information Management Center, it is not enough. It wasn't enough dahil ang sabi nila doon, they apologize for the inconsistency. Anong inconsistency pinag-uusapan dito? Outright kasinungalingan ang nangyari dito. Walang inconsistency. It was lies, false news, no?
Padilla and other UP alumni are merely filing cyber libel and contempt charges against AFP officials for red tagging. He also called on the government to stop calling random people communists.
Sa dami-dami ng pera na binubuhos natin sa AFP, yung kanilang intelligence fund, they came out with a list that was 40 years old. No? 40 years old. Biruin mo yun.
With this, Senator Panfilo Lacson now wants a stricter validation process on alleged rebels being identified in red tagging hearings. Meanwhile, universities slammed the claim of NTF-ELCAC spokesperson Lieutenant General Antonio Parlade that the institutions are recruitment havens for communist groups. In a joint statement, leaders of the Ateneo de Manila University, De La Salle University, Far Eastern University, and University of Santo Tomas denounced what they called an irresponsible and false accusation. Parlade earlier said some 18 schools act as a recruitment centers for the rebels, a rehash of his previous statement back in 2018. For News 5, Camille Samonte, we are One News.
And in sports, Bren Esports became the first Filipino team to win the Mobile Legends Bang Bang M2 World Championship after beating Myanmar. Bren bested 11 other teams from 8 countries for the $300,000 prize, or equivalent to about 14.4 million pesos. Carl Nepomuceno, also known as his in-game name Carlzy, won MVP honors and a $3,000 cash prize. PLDT Smart Chairman Manny V. Pangilinan, one of the event's partners, congratulated the team for making history. Meanwhile, in tennis, Alex Ayala also bannered Filipino pride after earning her first professional win in just her second year in the professional circuit. The 15-year-old tennis prodigy wore down Yvonne Cavalier-Rims to win the women's singles title of the W15 Manacor ITF Pro Tournament. Current world number 2 Rafael Nadal sent his vamos to the rising star, who is one of his academy scholars. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.